Cheers, everybody. It is Monday, July 15th, and this is your very brief, super weird episode of Cup of Jones. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Hope you have a wonderful week. I've had a very interesting weekend. And there's Amanda. Hi, Amanda. Milo is in the loving arms of my mother-in-law and is just chilling. He was not chilling at 3 a.m. this morning. Milo loves 3 a.m. 3 a.m. is Milo's time to shine. Let me know if everything looks okay and sounds okay. Cheers, everybody. It's Cup of Jones. I am tired, but I am in good spirits. Everything is great. Milo's great. Everybody's fine. But this is a weird schedule to get used to. People who aren't parents or haven't been or don't plan to be. It is very interesting taking care of a child, not only a newborn, but a newborn, a baby who's a little bit newer than he expected to be. You might hear him in the background. I'm going to go through this very quickly, how this is going to operate. For those of you listening to this episode of Cup of Jones, you're missing out on the lion's share of it. So all of the business questions and personal questions I've answered in text on the original live stream video version of this post. I will put up an audio version as well if I remember to do it today, and that will just be a very quick update, 10-15 minutes on everything that's going on at Easy Allies, and then all of the business questions and personal questions. The business questions have been shared kind of 80%, 20% by myself and Daniel Bloodworth. Thanks to Blood for answering some of those already in the comments from last week's episode. I've included his response instead of mine because he manages, in this case, with me being on paternity leave, business much more so than I do. And then, of course, all the personal questions I addressed personally. We're going to try this out. So let me know what you think of this format. Let me know of other ways I can clear this up and make this easier for you to read and process in the future. Maybe if you have any creative ideas on how I can shake this up now that I'm just doing this specific short, live, mostly text format. Obviously, I will take your comments and concerns with a grain of salt because, some of those I might not have time to implement. You might have some fun creative ideas that just don't necessarily work out for my schedule right now. But here we go. So yeah, my official paternity leave has begun. Milo got home a couple days ago. Feels like weeks, but it's not even a full week yet. And so we're trying to figure out this schedule. So not only obviously is this going to affect Cup of Jones, but this is going to affect my involvement with the rest of Easy Allies. For a quick clarification, basically what that means is you will still see me every Monday morning for a very brief amount of time live doing a quick update of everything, which I am able to do thanks to my wonderful wife and my mother-in-law right now because they are taking care of Milo. And that also means you'll be hearing my voice on our impressions and previews and reviews and anything else that requires my voice on podcast halftime. But and I will still hopefully be editing the podcast. I'm going to try to do that tomorrow night. We'll see how that goes. And but you will not basically be seeing me on anything else probably for 3-4 weeks, maybe longer. Every single week when I come back for Cup of Jones, I'll be talking with Bloodworth and the rest of the team and just kind of reevaluating where we're at, how much involvement makes sense for me to come back and join the crew. But I'm certainly going to miss being on the podcast. I already miss being on group streams. We've done some really, really fun group streams. Maybe I should just jump to that. Tomorrow night, we will be streaming Enter the Gungeon. This was a Ben Moore recommendation. He thought it would be a good time to get back to it because it is going to be have a physical release on the Switch. And it is a super fun game if all of you have not checked that out, and a really great group stream game. I believe it's co-op. Don't quote me on that. But it is tricky in terms of when we're actually going to get the copy of the game. We could get it in time for the stream tomorrow night. We might not. Tomorrow night might be a little bit of a shake-up in terms of what game we are playing. We are currently planning on playing Enter the Gungeon, and I will definitely not be there. Ben will not be there as well because Ben is working on reviewing Fire Emblem, the new Fire Emblem that has a subtitle that does not completely escapes me right now. But that is a very deep game. Ben is very much involved in that, kind of similar to Damiani was with Shadowbringers in the weeks preceding his review. So it's nice to get these really big, chunky RPG reviews from, two of our greatest RPG lovers on Three Houses. There we go. At least 7 people have already jumped in with Three Houses. Thank you. I was going to say Awakening, but I'm like, that's definitely not it. Awakening has already happened, Jones. It is definitely not Awakening. And I'm curious to see what Ben thinks of Fire Emblem. He's already dropped a couple little lore story nuggets and early impressions, just exclusively for us in Slack. But I'm curious to read that full review. And again, definitely will not be cutting it. But I will be voicing that along with any other reviews that we do. Our Q&A will be early this month. Our Q&A is happening this Saturday. That is typically at noon. I believe it'll be at noon. Again, I will not be a part of that Q&A, but send your questions in, and I hope you have a wonderful Q&A. I was not on the community showcase that we did. Again, thanks to Damiani and Ian who hosted that. There's a new top 10 this Friday. This will be a fun one. This will be one that I don't think will be something that people will like debate. It's not something where they're like, you're wrong, Easy Allies. It'll be a little more of kind of a fun countdown as opposed to the kind of the more maybe more rigid or more serious ones that we've done in the past. I'm looking forward to seeing how this one comes together. And again, we'll have absolutely nothing to do with it. Comic-Con is this weekend, which seems super bizarre. It's weird for Amanda and I not to be attending Comic-Con. Also weird to have such a difficult time getting all of the allies into E3 this year, and then both Amanda and myself with no plans to attend the show get our badges like nobody, just like, oh, there you go. Welcome back to Comic-Con. Like, oh, cool, thanks. Amanda's going to cosplay as a person who sleeps, is a direct quote from Amanda, who is just standing beautifully in the kitchen waiting for his bottle to be warmed. There's my beautiful wife, who I love so much, who's working so hard. It's so crazy, like, to wake up and be like, what did I miss? And come out and she's feeding him. And I'm like, oh, it seems like I've been asleep. It seems like a whole new day. I've been gone for years, but I've really just been asleep for like an hour. I need to talk about what you're doing. They can see what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing, everybody. No. I am selfishly taking time for me to be on Cup of Jones. Hey, everybody, I still work for Easy Allies. I'm just putting up a facade that I still am involved in this company. I just had a thought, added this note right before we started streaming. I have no idea what I'm going to do for Trailer Jones this month. Maybe I'll just record it here. Maybe I'll just run in the middle of the night and record a quick 20-minute thing where I'm like, hey, trailers are cool. I don't know. I have no idea. I really wouldn't like to take Trailer Jones off. Maybe I'll do 2 episodes in August. Maybe I'll do a weird episode this month. I don't know. Maybe I'll have Bossman host Trailer Jones if he's willing. I have no idea. I will figure that out when I have a little bit more sleep, whenever that happens. And our Easy Living schedule, which again, I have absolutely nothing to do with because I will not be attending Easy Living this year, which hurts. Not doing a Dragon Quest Builders 2 review hurts. Not being on Easy Living hurts. Not going to Comic-Con hurts. But having the boy home is a joy, definitely, and blows all of those things out of the water. But the Easy Living schedule is coming together. It's fun to see conversations happen back and forth on Slack about games that I have absolutely no idea what the heck they're talking about, which is always it's always like most of Easy Living comes together and the schedule gets locked down, but then there's like, wait, who has this game and do you have it and does that really work and do we have that controller and do you have that console? But if we bring that console, what other games are we playing on it? Okay, you bring the memory cards and I will bring the the Saturn controller and whatever. I don't know if there will be a Saturn game. I'm just throwing that out there. We lock it in the schedule July 24th to 26th, I believe. That is Friday to Saturday, 50-hour live stream at our beach house. That we are renting, not a beach house that we own. Maybe that can be a future goal someday. But that will be a really fun event. Just from looking at the schedule that they're putting together, obviously we do a full playthrough at Easy Living. The full playthrough they're doing this year is very fun. And there'll be a lot of other fun games that we are putting together. And we will shoot a promo that will go up the week actually of Easy Living, which will be the week after Comic-Con. Not only will we put up that promo, but we will announce what that games list is on the group stream directly before Easy Living happens. And we will put up a schedule for everyone to enjoy that will have the schedule of all of the games in order before Easy Living begins. And of course, you will get an update from me and Sophie perfectly when we are done with this video. A full playthrough, try like 5, says Daniel Bloodworth, updating me in Slack. 5 full playthroughs. You heard it here first from Daniel Bloodworth. And here is the fluffiest pup that ever pupped a pup. This girl, my folks came by the other day. They had seen Milo before, but my folks came by to finally, now that he was home, to really spend some time with him. So we got, my mother-in-law and then my mom and my dad. And they, watched me bottle feed, and my mom got to really hold him for the first time without any wires attached to him. It was very emotional. And for the occasion, Sophie went to the groomer, and so she is just a cloud of sweet-smelling fluff right now. This girl is so beautiful. Sophie, you're so beautiful. Do you know how beautiful you are? You're so beautiful. See, this is the thing. Audio listeners, you get the quick and dirty version of Cup of Jones. You get that nice convenience. You're on the bus, you're on the subway. I can just listen to those updates, but you don't get the visual sweet, soft, fluffy perp update of Sophie. Oh, I was hoping I could maybe get Sophie on Cup of Jones, and she was like, oh, I think you're on the last item that you have there. It's time for me to go up and say hi to all of the patrons. And let me make sure if I missed anything. Group stream, Into the Gungeon. Fire Emblem review from Ben, who might have to step away from some of his other responsibilities at Easy Allies. Or just, podcasts and, showing up on the official podcast group stream, stuff like that. Q&A is early this month, happening this Saturday. New Top 10 this Friday. Comic-Con is this weekend. Damiani will be attending. No promises on whether he will be doing a meetup at Comic-Con or whether we'll be doing any official coverage at Comic-Con. Again, of course, he has friend code, so if Nintendo throws anything new at Comic-Con, Nintendo actually covers Comic-Con really well, but a lot of it is just the E3 demos available for the public. So if you were not able to attend E3, it's really fun to go. I remember Smash Brothers was really big at Comic-Con last year for Nintendo, and it was really easy actually to get in line several times. I got in line with some new friends I had made last year, Smash Bros friends, and got to play Smash Bros very poorly with all of them, but it was really easy actually just to like loop that line over and over and over again to get to play the Smash Brothers demo. So but again, if Damiani's already tried out all of that stuff, I don't know if he's going to spend more time with it, or again, just no promises made over our official Comic-Con coverage, although Damiani will be there in case you want to reach out to him, see if you can track him down when he's there. Saturday seems like a good day for him to go. I think that's the day he's been in the past. But again, don't quote me on that. I want to 100% leave that up to Damiani to decide how much time he wants to spend at Comic-Con and what kind of coverage, quote unquote, he wants to do from Comic-Con, but nothing official coming from us. Amanda and I have done kind of like a bare bones live stream in the past from Comic-Con, but we will not be attending at all. I hope we both get badges next year because we're both going to be still industry professionals. We're just parent professionals right now. Got to figure out what the heck I'm doing with Trader Joe's this month, and we are only 2 weeks away from Easy Living. Comic-Con, then Easy Living. Those are the big events happening this month. And there we go. That's Easy Allies. That's my update. That's Cup of Jones. That's how we're going to do it. It's only, a little over 10 minutes, and we're done. If you are on the video post and you're like, wow, that was a really short episode, look down and you will see a bunch of business questions answered by myself and Daniel Bloodworth, and then below that, a bunch of personal questions. Again, keep those questions coming, but understand that my life is weird right now. You might get weird short answers. Cup of Jones might take some weird form depending on your notes and my life next week. But this worked out pretty well. I, of course, am very sleep deprived, but thank you to my friend, Mr. 5 Hour Energy. I was able to squeeze out just 15 minutes of energy for Cup of Jones today. And it's really nice just checking in with all of you and getting all of the wonderful messages here in Slack. I think there's like one Nintendo game that wasn't at E3, says Daniel Bloodworth in chat, at Comic-Con this year. So we will see what our coverage is like. A huge shout out, obviously, to all of the allies covering for me for everything, but especially Mr. Daniel Bloodworth, who is very much co-oping Cup of Jones with me now and updating me on all of the stuff that is going on that I missed, that we've talked about at our meetings. It's going to be weird missing this Q&A. One of the reasons I want to cut the podcast, continue cutting the podcast, I won't be on it, but I want to cut it, is not only have I edited every single episode, I believe, of the Easy Allies podcast so far since the inception of Easy Allies, but it's nice to know what's going on. It's nice to at least get that update, that kind of commitment to watch at least one thing that we do every week, so that when I come back and some bit is mentioned or they talk about the Glenny's Cauldron Game Jam or something else, which I'm very much looking forward to checking out those games. If anybody watching this Cup of Jones right now was involved at all in the Glenny's Cauldron Game Jam, kudos. I can't wait to check that stuff out. As someone who has built somewhat mediocre games through Disney Infinity and Dreams and stuff like that in the past, I can't believe actually building a game off of the bizarre whims of Mr. Kyle Bossman. Maybe you can hear some rumblings of Milo in the background. It's feeding time, everybody. I'm going to go take care of my newborn Milo, and I will see you again live, hopefully next Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time for a very short update and then lots of text. Let me know what you think of this new format of Cup of Jones. Thank you all for your tremendous amounts of patience and love and respect. And have a wonderful week, everybody. Cheers.